Hi everyone, Sarah here. I have a project to share with you for the Not2Shabby shop. All the information here, I will have everything linked down below. Don't forget to log in to collect your reward points. For every dollar you spend, you get 1 point. And for every 100 points, there's a $5 gift certificate. And then also any US orders over $60 ship for free. So I do have a card to share, but I just wanted to show you guys quickly some paper pads that Jamie recently got in on the shop. And I had to pick them up. They were super cute. 2017 is the year of no 12 by 12 paper for me, but it's not stopping me from buying smaller paper pads. And these are just so adorable. I didn't want to miss out. So this is a Bella Boulevard double-sided paper called Popsicles and Panda. There's the name up there. It is so adorable. These papers are 6 by 8, so they're a very awesome size, and as soon as I opened it up and felt it, the paper is very thick, excellent quality. The colors are super bright, and I think that they would be great. The 6 by 8 paper pad to do 4 by 6 cards, so just use this as your card base. And pretty much all of the papers except for one are laid out so that there is no right or wrong way. So super cute, adorable patterns. These pandas are what did it for me. They're so adorable. So I absolutely love this one. Totally recommend you getting your hands on this. So this is the only one that's positioned that you can't flip it, so it would be good just to use as a mat for cards and stuff with these super cute flamingos. So very adorable. And I do believe there are some other ones that she just got in also. Then there is this Jen Hadfield homemade paper pad. It's 6 by 6. It's called The Simple Life. There's 36 papers, 24 designs, and very pretty. This one is single-sided, but it's great for putting layers on your cards. All of the patterns kind of resemble like wallpapers, brick. They're very cool to do scene cards. Very pretty. And again, excellent quality. So nice. And they are all different. Very cool. And then I got 2 of the Simple Story paper pads. So this one is Faith, and these are 6 by 8 also. They're not as thick as that Bella Boulevard paper, but they're still pretty good. And there's a lot of like pictures that take up the full page on some of them. So just depends on how you want to use it, but very good. You can frame some of these quotes. The patterns and the colors are so beautiful. So that's that one. And then I also picked up Domestic Bliss. Again, super pretty, great colors. And there are some quotes and stuff that you can frame. Very cool. Messy bum, get stuff done. I love it. That's a really nice one too. So check out the shop. There's some new ones. Okay, so for my card, I did use these ones that I showed previously from the Lawn Fawn, Watercolor Wishes, and Perfectly Plaid. They match perfectly together, so I used both of those on my cards. I also pulled out of the vault the My Favorite Things Hog Heaven stamp set. These little pigs are just adorable, and for what I was doing, they just fit in nicely in there. And I also pulled out the horizontal leafy tree backdrop from Lawn Fawn to use the frame on there. I did use some stitched rectangles. I have the large and the small set in there together. And then the new stamp set from Avery L. I always have to open it up. I'm going to have to label this one. Picket Fence Dies. So this one is super cute with the fence, the grass, there's clouds or grass, there's flowers, butterflies, and then some dotted landscapes. So I use those for my card. Now I do have a process video for you on the die cuts that I use to create my backgrounds. So super adorable. I used the tree frame from Lawn Fawn to frame it all up. There's a stitched, or it's a dotted landscape from that stamp die set. The grass is in the front with a little bit of the fence, Both of them are the same. I just used a different color background because I already used one of those blue ones. So, and there's my little piggies that were pre-colored in my stash. And then I just added in some rhinestones. I did write on top of the stamping with the At Uspica black glitter pen just to dress it up a little bit and add some sparkle. So super cute. On the inside is the plaid paper with a white mat to write on. And same for this one also, just a different plaid. So adorable. So stay tuned and check out. I did pop up the bottom layer and popped up the frame, so there's dimension to them. So super adorable. All right, leave a comment, subscribe, and have a great day. Thanks, bye. Okay, so for the background, I'm using a couple of dies from the Not2Shabby shop. This is an older lawn fawn, the leafy tree backdrop in the landscape, so lengthwise. I'm just using the frame with the tree in it, and I've die cut this out of craft cardstock just to get the brown, and then it's going to be a frame for our background. So that's that one there. And then this is the new one from Avery L. It is, what's the name of it? Oh no. I haven't labeled it properly yet. It's the Picket Fence Dies. So this is from the new release. And I just have them all stored in here. So what I've done for this one, I have die cut some fences. I did some in white and I also did some in brown. For this card I'm using the white ones, but just thought I would die cut a bunch while I was there. So I have that die cut. I did die cut some clouds in the white to use later on. And then I have 2 pieces of patterned paper. So the first one, I used this dotted landscape, and I used this paper from the new paper pad. Where did it go? The Bella Boulevard. This one is Popsicles and Pandas. So cute. So I just used this green polka dotted paper. I thought that would be good for grass. So this is the one with the dotted landscape. And I just measured so that it would fit underneath the frame. And I kind of went up almost halfway up the card. So that's the first layer. And then I did also cut one out with the grass die. I know it's hard to see, but we're going to ink the edges. So I have the fence that I'm going to put over here, and then the grass is just going to be at the bottom edge of the fence just to cover up the posts, and then we're going to have our frame around there. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is ink up the edges. So I have my Distress Ink in Mowed Lawn and my little sponge dauber here. And we're just going to add a little bit of color to help the edges pop out. And you just need to do the top edge. The sides are going to be covered by the frame. And then this is what's going to help this one pop. You just want to do this gently so it doesn't bend your blades of grass. Alright. Just bringing it down a little bit because it is a drastic green compared to the pattern paper, but okay, let me quickly clean off my mat. There we go, so I don't get green on anything else. Alright, so I want this to have some dimension to it. So I'm just going to start with this layer on the bottom. I already have this one cut perfectly for where I want it to be on the frame, so I don't have to worry about it. This one I'm not quite sure, because you want to be able to see your fence. I don't know if I want it peeking up too high over the back. Yeah, see, I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to bring this down and bring my fence down. And I'm not putting the fence all the way over because I have the tree that's going to be on the other side. Like that. Alright, so I think about there is where I'm going to do it. So let me just see. I'm just going to mark my edge so I know. Alright, and I have my thin foam tape that I'm using. So I'm just going to cut some here. I need to cut it in half because it's too wide. Scissors are sticking. There we go. So then I'm just going to add the foam tape to the bottom of my first layer of grass. And then for the fence, I'm just going to use a glue pen. So I have my Quickie glue pen from Sakura, which Jamie does have in the shop. Oops. Just going to add some to the back here. You want to go quick so it doesn't dry too fast. There you go. So add that in. And we're just going to flip it over and trim off the tree. Trim off the fence that's not going in there. And keep that. You can use that for another card going in off the other side. Just want to make sure it's sticking. Okay, so then take off our foam tape. Just going to turn it sideways here so I can add my grass in. And you want to make sure you're covering up the bottom of your fence. There you go. And then you want to flip over and trim off the excess on this side. That is the background. And then what you need to do is add foam tape into these three sides, just not down here. And we're going to glue the bottom of the frame to the front layer of grass and have the foam tape to glue to the back of the card. And I just need to find some sky pattern paper to put behind there. Okay, so I found a piece of paper, and this is actually from the new Paper Pad Lawn Fawn Watercolor Wishes, which is also from Jamie's shop. I just used this light blue kind of watercolory. Super cute. These are awesome for backgrounds like that. So I just cut it down to the right size that I need for behind my frame. So then I'm going to take my grass, and I'm just using Scotch tacky glue. Used to be called quick glue. Quick dry. Just gonna add some glue to this. And then add it to the bottom of my sky. So pretty. Just gonna push the back because that's where the foam tape is. Alright, so then what I did was I took my foam tape and cut it down, and as I said before, I just did the 3 sides because you don't want to put the foam tape on top of the bottom layer. It already has foam tape on it. And then I'm just going to add some wet glue to this bottom piece. Just a little bit there. And take off my paper. Probably should have done that first. Go. And when I place it here, I'm going to do the bottom first because I want the bottom to line up nicely. And then I'm going to press down my frame on the top. Oops, I don't want to pin my tree. So there we go, there's our frame. It just needs some animals and decoration.